What is up? What is up? What is up? Hello, awesome people of the internet. Y'all, happy Tuesday. We are one day closer to the NCAA tournament for the women starting. And guys, I am pretty excited about it. I am so excited that we're going to spend a good portion of today's stream going game by game for the tournament, and we're gonna talk about the different matchups we're gonna see, and also I'm gonna put pen to paper and actually talk out my picks with you all. And if you all have your brackets ready, we can all do this together. All right. I do want to say thank y'all so much for joining in. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We about to have a good time. All right. And first, we're gonna start with just giving you all a sense of what is happening, right? So the NCAA tournament is here, March Madness is here, and that means several things. The games actually begin for the first 4 games. They actually start tomorrow, so that is something to note. We will see 2 games happening tomorrow, and then 2 games happening on Thursday. And then the actual, the legit, first round starts on the 22nd, so which is on Friday. All right, and so yeah, we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're actually really going to go from the top on down. We're gonna talk about all the stuff that there is to talk about in terms of different matchups we'll see, and also I kind of have a hot-ish take on who's actually gonna win the NCAA tournament, and yeah, we're gonna get to that. So yeah, I do want to just say hello, awesome people of the internet. I hope you guys are doing well. Hey Thane, hey Virgil, Mike got the first like. All right, Mike. What up, Leek? Leek, what up? Leek says, awesome people of the internet, love. Lee says South Carolina, Texas, UCLA, and USC in the Final Four. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, Lee. Leek says the president of awesome people of the internet has arrived besides Frank. Yeah, you gotta make sure to include that besides Frank. Harrison says, hi Quita, you're a subscriber from Japan here. What up, Harrison? What time is it in Japan? Let me know. What time is it in Japan? Hey, Chance. Hey, Michael. Nancy says Albany Region is stacked. Yeah, it is. We're gonna talk about that. It's a lot of pressure. All right. So yeah. We about to get into the NCAA tournament. So for those who don't know, again, it starts tomorrow. The first game is at 7 p.m. between Sacred Heart and Presbyterian. And then we'll see Vanderbilt versus Columbia at 9 p.m. Those are Eastern times for those games. All right, so let's get into it. Here is I'm gonna do 2 different brackets. I'm gonna do one bracket that is slightly more realistic, and I'm gonna do a upsets centric type of bracket. All right. Pam Egg says close to 10,000 subscribers. Everyone subscribe. Yes. Everybody, please subscribe. Kathy says, can you watch those first 4 games? Yeah, you can watch those games. Those games will be available on ESPNU. So tomorrow's games will be on ESPNU. So if you have that, then you can watch it. Yeah, Leak. Yeah. The tickets are selling really fast for the women's game. And we're gonna talk more about that in just a sec. All right, guys. Here's what we're about to do today. We are about to create a bracket together. All right? And in real time, I want y'all to be able to push back on some of the decisions that I am making. All right? Right? Because I know some of y'all gonna be like, what? She picked that, but I have a reason. For all the picks that we about to go through, I have a reason for all of them. All right. So yeah, we about to get into it. All right. We are about to get into it. And guys, let me know in the chat. Have y'all already made up y'all brackets yet? I was waiting until this stream to do my bracket. So while I have the ideas in my head of like who I'm planning on picking, I haven't actually done a bracket yet. I was waiting for this moment to go through it. All righty then. All right, so I think we're about to. I think it is officially time for us to make our selections. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get into it. All right, so I am using ESPN's tournament challenge for my brackets. Michaela says put out 2. Nancy did 3. All right. DJ filled his out. Okay. Lee made 2. Tremaine says you're gonna say LSU is going to be upset by someone. Well, we're gonna get into that. Whoa, Keith! Thank you so much, Keith, for the super chat. Thank you so much, Keith. Keith says helping the channel grow. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Keith. I appreciate the support, and I think this is your first. Keith, I think this is your first. I don't know if you've given a super chat before, but that's pretty fantastic. Thank you so much, Keith. I appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get into these picks. All right, so we're gonna start with Albany Region 1, and then we're gonna just move on down from there. All right, so I gotta really okay, so hopefully y'all can see this bracket. All right, for South Carolina, I think they're going to wind up playing Presbyterian, and they're going to beat them. So my pick for that first round is going to be South Carolina. They're just way too good to go out this early. So of course it's South Carolina, and I'm gonna be saying South Carolina's name quite a bit for this video. So fair warning. All right, so for North Carolina and Michigan State, I'm going to just say that I see these teams as very evenly matched, but I think that Michigan State has a little bit more depth than North Carolina, and I think they will pull the edge. I don't think that's an upset at all. Technically, Michigan State is ranked lower than North Carolina, but I actually think Michigan State is a better team. And I think they're gonna beat North Carolina. So that is my pick. South Carolina and Michigan State move on. All right, for Oklahoma versus Florida Gulf Coast. I like Florida Gulf Coast. They're a fun team. However, Oklahoma is just too good, in my opinion. They're just too good. And I don't see Oklahoma losing this early. So I'm just say I'm just say Oklahoma is gonna get past Florida Gulf Coast. Now I'm gonna say this, guys. We got Indiana versus Fairfield, and y'all, I am kind of a believer in Fairfield. I am. I really like how Fairfield has played this season. I think they're a fun team to watch. I think they're a really good team. But with that being said, I just can't imagine Indiana losing to Fairfield, especially because Mackenzie's back and she's going to be healthy for the tournament. So because of that, I think I'm going to say that Indiana is going to win against Fairfield. But I will say this. If Mackenzie Holmes is not going to play, then maybe they have a little trouble. Like Fairfield, I know some of y'all have not watched Fairfield play. I know that y'all like, well, Indiana's so much better. But I'm just saying, with Mackenzie Holmes, yes, Indiana has it. But if Mackenzie Holmes is not like all the way good, then, you know, I could see Fairfield. I'm just saying. But yeah, so Oklahoma and Indiana will move on in Bloomington. All right, and then we then have Nebraska versus Texas A&M. I'm a believer in the Aggies. I think they're going to be the upset. I think they're going to be an upset team, at least in that first round. Will they go further than that first round? I don't think so, but I do think Texas A&M is going to get over on Nebraska. I know, controversial take, but that is an upset that I do see. Oregon State versus Eastern Washington. I'm saying, of course, Oregon State. Yes, of course, Oregon State. All right. Then we have Ole Miss versus Marquette. Ole Miss all day. I like Marquette, but they've been, I don't know. Marquette had a hot start, and then they just slowly. So I don't have Marquette beating Ole Miss at all. All right, some of y'all disagree about the Nebraska one. Bree Wayne says I got Nebraska. Okay, DJ agrees with Texas A&M. Nancy says Nebraska. I mean, yes. Nebraska is good. However, I feel like Texas A&M is gonna get them. I do. But we'll see. We will see what happens. All right, then we have Ole Miss versus Marquette. And again, I said Ole Miss is going to win that. And then we have Notre Dame versus Kent State. In my opinion, Notre Dame will beat them. All right, and let's continue on down to Portland 4. We have Texas versus Drexel. Texas is going to win. I can't imagine them losing to Drexel. Alabama versus Florida State. I'm giving the edge to Florida State. The Seminoles, I think, are going to pull it through in this one. Utah versus South Dakota State. I would love an upset, but I don't think we're getting an upset. Utah all the way, because Alyssa Peely is going to put her team on her back and get the dub pretty easily, in my opinion. All right, Gonzaga versus UC Irvine. Now, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about Gonzaga versus UC Irvine. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think it's a good sign how Gonzaga got in the WCC. Yes, Gonzaga is a way better team than UC Irvine, but I think this game is going to actually be very tough. I think this game is going to be very, very tough for Gonzaga, even though Gonzaga's at home. But yeah, I still think, even though it's going to be a tough game, I do think Gonzaga is going to pull it off. I would love to see UC Irvine get the upset, but I just don't think it's realistic. All right, Tennessee versus Green Bay. Tennessee has it. I don't see Tennessee losing, at least in the first round right now. I don't see them losing against Green Bay. NC State versus Chattanooga. Yes, I do believe NC State is going to win. Unfortunately, guys, I don't actually see a ton of upsets in this first round. I don't see a ton of upsets. In the second round, yes, yes, we're gonna see some upsets. But in this first round, I actually don't see much in terms of upsets. So if y'all are like, where are the upsets? Not in this round. Not right now. It's coming though. For Iowa State versus Maryland, I like Iowa State a lot. However, I don't really see them beating Maryland. And the reason why is because, yes, Iowa State has a fantastic amount of underclassmen, specifically freshmen, who are balling. However, I do think the lights are going to be a little bit slightly too bright. And Maryland is going to play the type of defense that we saw played against Iowa State in that Big 12 championship game. And we're going to see Audie Crooks not be able to get what she normally gets. So I do think that Maryland is going to beat Iowa State because of the defense that Brenda Fries is going to draw up against Audie Crooks. That is the only way that they will win. That is the only way, is if they can overwhelm the guards and basically make it impossible to get the ball to Audie Crooks. And I know this is a controversial take. This is one of the rare controversial takes for the first round. But I really do see Maryland shutting down the guards of Iowa State defensively, so that way they sort of make it impossible to really give Audie the ball. Because one-on-one, yes, Audie Crooks would dominate Maryland. However, the guards have to give her the ball. And I think Maryland has a key for Maryland. Key, stay out of foul trouble. That's the key. If Maryland gets in foul trouble, it's over. It's over because they're not deep enough. But I'm putting Maryland over Iowa State. Assuming that they shut down the guards of Iowa State to prevent them from getting the ball in the paint to Audie Crooks, which I think is what's going to happen. All right, we have Stanford versus Norfolk State. And y'all, I like Norfolk State. I like their coach. I like what they're all about. I like the fact that Diamond Johnson's on the team. I think they're a fun squad, but it's no way they're beating Stanford. It's no way. Stanford's moving on to the second round. All right, let's take a look at Albany 2. All right, the region of death. Of course, I have Iowa making it through that first round. West Virginia versus Princeton. I waffle about West Virginia versus Princeton, and the reason why I say that is because I don't really know. It's tough to decide who I think is actually going to win this one. To me, this is a toss up. This is a toss up that goes to Princeton because they have had more tournament experience. They're led by some top-notch seniors. So I do say Princeton for this, but I could see it going up either way. All right. Uh-oh. Wait, what happened? Hold on. No, I didn't want to go to round of 32. I wanted to stay. Here we go. All right. Now we have Colorado versus Drake. Colorado's taking that. I don't think it's going to be that huge of an issue. between Colorado and Drake. For Kansas State has it. It just, I mean, there's a girl named Ayoka Lee, and she's hard to guard. She's hard to stop. So I don't imagine Portland being able to pull off that upset. Louisville versus Middle Tennessee. Let's see. We got Ty saying, Quita, you forgot that Princeton almost beat UCLA. Yeah, they did. That's a straight up fact. Princeton's a good squad, but also West Virginia's really good as well. So like I that's why I see it as a toss up. I don't totally I'm not like 1,000% sure that Princeton wins against West Virginia. However, I gave them the edge because I think it's likely that they will win. But you know, I'm just saying, guys, this is going to be tough for all of these teams. For Louisville versus Middle Tennessee, while I would love to see Middle Tennessee beat Louisville, and Middle Tennessee has beaten Louisville in the past, I don't think they beat Louisville in the tournament. I don't think they'll beat them. Rice versus LSU. I mean, LSU is just so much better. So I do have LSU over that. Now, guys, let me know in the chat. Do y'all have Middle Tennessee beating Louisville? Now, it would be pretty awesome if they did. That would be a crazy upset. And again, they have beat them in the past, but I don't see it in the tournament. I don't see it happening. All right, we then have Creighton versus UNLV. I say UNLV on this one. It's more of just a gut pick. It's a gut pick to me. Why do I keep doing that? Hold on, guys. I keep doing something and it's like jumping to the second round. And I don't want it to. I want it to stay. I want it to stay on the first round. All right. My gut is saying UNLV is going to win, but we'll see. Okay, so most of y'all in the chat don't believe that Louisville will get got in the first round. But Janae said, but then again, anybody can get got. You're right about that. You are absolutely right about that. JB says Middle Tennessee can definitely beat Louisville, but I don't know if they will. Yeah, I think the cards are just a little bit too much for them in that first round. Yeah, I think but yeah, Creighton versus UNLV. I have UNLV winning. UCLA versus California Baptist. Again, I would love to have an upset. We ain't getting upset in this one. Nah, we not getting upset in this one. We have USC versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I believe that I'm gonna be saying the name USC quite a bit during this stream because USC is good. You know, they're very good. They're a very, very good squad. Oh wait, guys, sorry about that. All right. Okay, we then have Kansas versus Michigan. Toss up. I don't quite know on this one. I don't quite know. To me, I think this is going to be another toss up that I'm just going to give it to Kansas, but I don't know about this one. Now here is where, here's the section I really want to talk about. So Baylor versus either Vanderbilt or Columbia? Now, I do believe that Vanderbilt is going to beat Columbia. And I'ma just say, I think it's going to be an upset. I think we're going to see Vanderbilt beat Baylor. I know. It's a long shot. However, I feel like Vandy is going to get it. I don't know. It's like a gut. Some of these picks are just like straight up gut picks. And I just Baylor is a good squad. However, they've been a little bit too suspect for me this season. And I feel like they are itching to get got. And they're going to get got in the first round. So I have Vanderbilt beating Columbia in that first four. And then I have Vanderbilt beating Baylor. Now, will Vanderbilt make it further than that? No. But I do have Vanderbilt getting Baylor. Because the thing about Baylor also that like I want everybody to really think about is like, sure, Baylor is a good squad, but sometimes it feels like it's just Dre Edwards, and that's it. And that's not enough to win in a tournament, right? So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I really do believe that that they're gonna get got. I really do. But again, as always, we will see what happens because you never quite know. But I do believe they're going to get got. But guys, if y'all are joining, if y'all could please hit that like button, that would be absolutely fantastic. All right. If y'all get that like button, that would be great. Also, if y'all have not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. We are on our road to 10,000 subscribers. And yeah, help me get there by hitting that subscribe button. Let's see. Keith says, fam, we can do better than 61 likes. Smash that like button. Yes, y'all. Listen to Keith. Y'all. Listen to Keith. Also, I have a super chat shout out. Shout out to that dude right there who says so many potential bracket busters this year. Absolutely. That is straight up facts. And thank you so much, that dude right there, for the super chat. All right. Ty says itching to get got is wild. But the way they play sometimes, I don't know. I'm a little suspect. I'm just saying. But I am not saying that Vanderbilt is all that in a bag of chips, because they're not. They're not. However, I do have them beating Baylor. All right, thank you so much, Derek. Derek says, I like every time I get on. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Derek, and all the other people who have hit that like button. Yeah, if y'all can continue to hit that like button, that would be great. We got 300 people in the chat. Let's get to 175 for likes. That would be absolutely fantastic. All right, we have Virginia Tech versus Marshall. I think Virginia Tech has it. I mean, Elizabeth Kitley, in my opinion, likely will not play in the NCAA tournament. We still don't fully know her status, but it doesn't seem likely that she is going to play. So yeah. Even with that being said, Georgia Amore is phenomenal, and in no way do I believe that that Virginia Tech is going to lose that first round. All right, now here is where it gets pretty interesting. So we have Syracuse versus either Auburn or Arizona. I have Auburn losing to Arizona in that first four. I have Auburn losing to Arizona, and I have Arizona beating Syracuse. Now, again, hot take. I know. However, Arizona is a team that has gone through the gauntlet this year, and I think they are trending upward. They are trending upward, and they're not looking bad. So if you even look at the Pac-12 tournament, Arizona had a game against USC where they barely lost. They lost by like 3 points or something like that. They barely lost to USC in the tournament. And before that, they've had some good games, right? I see Arizona getting the upset. I really do. Syracuse is a great squad, great coach, but the reason why I think the Wildcats are going to get it is because they're sort of peaking at a right spot, and I think that the freshmen are a lot better than they were at the beginning of the season. Like Jada Williams, overall, she's a lot better than she was, and they're looking pretty good to me. I don't know. They are a young squad, so that is something to take a look at. But like, I don't know. Hot take. I think Arizona's going to take Syracuse. They've been through a lot. They've been through the Pac-12. Now that's another thing that I think is just huge. Yes, they don't have the best record, but like, they went through the gauntlet of the Pac-12. And I don't know. I think they're gonna beat Syracuse. But I will say, if Auburn beats Arizona, I also think Auburn is very good. And I don't know. Honestly, Scott Grayson can do some stuff. She can do some damage. So if it is Auburn versus Syracuse, I also think Auburn has the game. So regardless, in my opinion, and regardless if Arizona or Auburn makes it, I think they're going to beat Syracuse. Hot take, I know, but I don't know. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because they yeah. Anyway, Auburn's had some really good games this year. Syracuse has also had some really good games. So this is not me saying that Syracuse is scrubs or anything like that. Why do I keep jumping? I don't know why I keep jumping. Anyway, I have Auburn/Arizona beating Syracuse. All right, down to UConn versus Jackson State. I think UConn has it. In terms of the team, yes, they have basically a 7-man roster, but yeah, I think they for sure have it against Jackson State. Again, would love an upset, but I don't think it's going to happen. Duke versus Richmond. I think Duke has it. Duke is looking good. I really like the way that Duke has been playing. They're fun. And they're defensive minded. And I think that's the thing. That's the thing that really helps them. Audrey says the Syracuse disrespect is crazy. It's more of just acknowledgement of the other teams that they're dealing with, right? Let's see. Also, Audrey says Auburn will definitely beat Arizona. I bet money. Okay, how much you put on it, Audrey? How much you put on it? LB says Pac-12 is not good. USC will lose in the second round. Whoa, really? Hot take, LB. Hot take. Molly says Syracuse is tough. Yeah. Syracuse has this lady named Deasia Fair, and she is phenomenal. However, I don't believe she's going to be enough. I don't believe she's enough. But Deasia Fair is really, really good. All right, we have Ohio State versus Maine. Again, I would love to see an upset. I don't see Maine winning. All right, so now we move on to round 2. South Carolina versus Michigan State. South Carolina gets it, of course, because they're just better. They're just a way better squad. I think it's going to be I don't actually think it's going to even be a close game. I think South Carolina probably wins by at least 15. Oklahoma versus Indiana. Now, I know Indiana's going to be at home, and I know that they're going to have all the attention and they're going to have the fanfare and all that stuff. But I think the Sooners have it. I don't know. I think the Sooners have this. And again, this one in particular is a gut one. I think there's going to be a very, very close game. It's a toss up really on who actually wins, but I'm gonna say Oklahoma is gonna beat Indiana. And again, tell me how I'm wrong in the chat if y'all disagree. All right, we have Texas A&M versus Oregon State. I mean, Beers is back and Beers is looking good. Oregon State all the way. Ole Miss versus Notre Dame. Now, I'm going to say this, y'all. I see Ole Miss doing what Ole Miss does, and that means upsets. Y'all, Coach Yo is a extremely underrated coach. I believe that if women's college basketball, if coaches, if GMs, if ADs are smart, athletic directors are smart, I think we're gonna see Coach Yo move to another school, another bigger school in the future, because they in terms of just their sheer roster, I don't know if I put. Actually, I do know. I wouldn't put their roster. If you compare their roster to Notre Dame's roster, of course Notre Dame is much better. However, the way they play together, and the fact that Watson is hurt and out for Notre Dame, I think Ole Miss is going to beat Notre Dame. Yes, Notre Dame is the number 2 team in the country. Absolutely. I see a question about Mackenzie Holmes playing for Indiana. Yeah, Mackenzie Holmes is she's practicing with the team, and she does plan on playing in the NCAA tournament. Even with that, I still do believe that they're going to lose to Oklahoma. That's my thought. Now, I say that Ole Miss is going to beat Notre Dame. Yes, in general. If you compare the rosters, Notre Dame is much better. However, Watson's hurt. This team is very, very short-staffed in terms of players who are available to be on the court, right? So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. I think Ole Miss is gonna beat them. Yes, Ole Miss doesn't have the offense. They're going to have the defense for days. Hannah is going to go off. Absolutely. Hannah is going to go off, but it will not be enough because everybody else, for the most part, is going to get shut down, in my opinion. So I don't see how Notre Dame wins, especially with Kylie Watson out. She's just. If they had Kylie Watson, okay, maybe Notre Dame could pull it out. I don't see them beating Ole Miss, so I do have Ole Miss heading on. So yeah, guys, let me know what y'all think about that. But yeah, I do think that Ole Miss is gonna win. Shout out to DJ Nivcone, aka DJ Nivik. Thank you so much for the super chat. DJ says, I appreciate your content and the way you carry yourself And I want to help you keep your platform going strong. Thank you so much, DJ. I really do appreciate that support. That is a huge, huge, huge support, and that helps out a whole lot. So I really, really do appreciate the financial support, DJ. All right, so again, Ole Miss is beating Notre Dame, in my opinion. Notre Dame just doesn't have enough. Sure, you can win with 6 players. Absolutely. Notre Dame has done it before. I don't think this year is the year that they do that, though. We'll see. We'll see, though. We will see. Facts, Bree Wayne. Bree Wayne says, Madison Scott and Marquisha Davis are tough to handle. They are. I think, says, agree with Watson out. That changes things. Yeah. R1 says, Maddie Westbeld and Sonia Citron aren't being shut down. This is crazy talk. Well, that's my thoughts. That's my thought. I mean, we'll see what happens, but that's what I think is going to happen. All right, Texas versus Florida State. I got Texas winning that. Gonzaga versus Utah. I have Utah winning that. Tennessee versus NC State. Maybe this is a surprise. I have Tennessee State. I have Tennessee beating NC State in round 2. The reason why is because I just, in a similar fashion, I don't think that NC State, they just don't have it for me. They just don't have it. And when we look at the previous round, we talked about I'm blanking on the squad. The squad that I said is either going to lose to Texas, that was going to lose to Syracuse. In a similar way, I don't know. I just feel like in a similar way to Syracuse, I feel like NC State is a team that I just see. I don't know. I see a lot of inconsistency, and I see a team that is. I see a team that can get got. I see a team that is prime to get got. I don't see NC State winning. Not trying to hate on them. I just don't see it. I just really don't see it. To me, Tennessee wins out. They're going to play a lot better. And they have freaking Rakia Jackson on their team. So like I don't know. I have them making it. All right, continuing on, we have Maryland versus Stanford. Not a question. Stanford's winning against Maryland. Iowa versus Princeton. Of course, Iowa's winning. I don't think that's a question either. Colorado versus K-State. I say this is a toss-up. I'm not totally sure. I'm really not totally sure. Kathy asks if is NC State playing at home. They are playing at home. Yeah. NC State is playing at home. And even with that, I still do believe they're going to lose. Yeah. All right. For Colorado and K-State, I kind of feel it as a toss-up. But a slight edge goes to K-State, so I put K-State above that. But again, I could see it either way between Colorado or K-State. Also, guys, if y'all could hit that like button, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Y'all, we got 400 we got 400 people in the chat. Thank y'all so much for joining. If y'all could hit that subscribe button, that would be phenomenal. Subscribe to the channel. We are on our road to 10,000 subscribers, and the goal was to get there before tomorrow. I'm not sure how realistic that is, but we're going to hope and dream. So if y'all could hit that like button and a subscribe button, that would be absolutely fantastic. Guys, we are going through the bracket. game by game, and I'm just sort of talking through my thoughts as I am picking these. And again, I've thought about these picks, but I haven't actually put pen to paper yet on my bracket because I was waiting for us to do this all together to talk about it. So yeah. Let's see. Let's talk about Louisville versus LSU. It's going to be Haley Van Lith playing her former team. Yes, Louisville knows Haley very well. I do think Haley has evolved as a player, so I don't think it's going to be that much of a benefit of having familiarity with her. But I will say that I don't see how LSU loses this game. If LSU loses and that's in the second round, that is an upset of upsets. This is going to be a tough game. Louisville versus LSU, not a cakewalk at all. But I do think that LSU comes out the victor, probably by like a 6-point win margin. I don't see them winning by much, but I don't see how LSU loses unless Angel gets in crazy foul trouble, and no one else can really do anything. I don't see them losing. And again, remember, guys, they're number 3. They are at home, so keep that in mind. But I do think it's gonna be a close game. I really do. So for those who are saying LSU is gonna wipe the floor with Louisville, I don't believe so. I think it's gonna be a close game, but LSU will pull out the victory. UNLV versus UCLA. I think UCLA has this. I don't think this is going to be a particularly close game between UNLV and UCLA, but UCLA will win. Let's see what y'all have to say. Molly says Kiki Jefferson needs to play great. She does. Bree Wayne says Haley Van Lith career high loading. I mean, you never know. Jaden says emotions might be there too. Yeah, playing against your former team. Yep. Michael says Louisville versus LSU equals spicy. It's gonna be kind of spicy. It's gonna be kind of spicy. Yeah. LB says LSU will be tired. Is because they don't have as many, like they don't have as deep of a bench. Yeah, probably a little bit. So it'd be in their best interest to try to win this game quickly. So that they can put their bench in the game and give the starters a little bit of a rest. That would be in their best interest. I don't think that's going to happen. Tasha says Morrow is going to show out during the tournament. I believe that. That is straight up facts. I completely believe that. Yeah. DJ says the SEC tournament prepared Tennessee for the NCAA tournament run. NC State, they're overrated. NC State is a very good squad. I just don't think they're good enough. I just don't think they're good enough. But they are a good squad though. Maynard says Last Year Poa. Last Year Poa should be good for the NCAA tournament. Kim Mulkey was asked about Last Year Poa before and said that she should be good for the tournament. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if she's all good to go. I think as long as she's good to go by round 2, LSU should be fine for the most part. All right, so for the regionals, regional 3, I should say, for round 2. I see USC beating Kansas without a huge of a problem. Now, Vanderbilt / Columbia versus Virginia Tech. Now, yes, Virginia Tech does not have Elizabeth Kitley. However, Georgia Amore is still very, very good. And I think she is going to carry this team to a round 2 victory. So I do have Virginia Tech making it on to the Sweet 16. Auburn versus Arizona. Auburn / Arizona versus UConn. I don't quite know about this one. So yes, UConn is a better squad. However, UConn doesn't have very many players at all. And that's, Aaliyah Edwards has broken her nose. She should be good to go for the tournament, but still, I'm not sure. I am not sure about UConn in that round 2 game. It's going to be a battle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Ultimately, I'm kind of waffling on what's actually going to happen in this game. But I have to put the edge to UConn, though it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a close one. I do have UConn making it all the way. Not all the way, but I have them making it to the Sweet 16. Definitely not all the way. All right, Duke versus Ohio State. Now, I'm not sure about this one. Again, I kind of waffle between the two. Duke is a way better defensive team than Ohio State. Ohio State can score some buckets, but I think Duke is going to, try to shut down Celeste Taylor. Going to try to shut down. Oh my goodness, how am I blanking? Oh my goodness, it's the sophomore for Ohio State. I am completely blanking on her name. Anyway, I think again this is going to be a very, very close game. But I'm gonna say we're gonna have another upset. I got Duke beating Ohio State. Yes. Ohio State is at home. But I got another upset coming. Cody McMahon. There we go. Thank y'all. Cody McMahon. I think that Duke is going to JC Sheldon. Oh my goodness. Sometimes like words kind of jumble up in my head. But yeah, I do have Duke winning. Yes, Ohio State is at home. Absolutely. But we gotta have some upsets, and it's a long shot. I'll probably be wrong. I will probably be wrong. Probably. But I have Duke beating Ohio State. Now, I know y'all tell me in the comments how wrong I am on that one, but I don't know. I just feel it. I feel it. All right, South Carolina in the Sweet 16. We are now in the Sweet 16, guys. I have South Carolina beating Oklahoma. Oregon State, I have beating Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss is good. They're gonna make it to the Sweet 16. I don't think they make it further. I think Beers is just too tough for Oregon State. So I'm gonna just say, yeah. Officer Davis says super long shot. Yeah. about Duke winning. Yeah. That is a very, very, very huge long shot. But I just, when it comes, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to making brackets, you have to, yes, absolutely use your brain, of course. But every year there's upsets. Every year. And every year we are shocked about who wins. We're shocked about, oh my goodness, Stanford just lost. I can't believe this. Every year some crazy thing happens. And when you're doing these brackets, I think it is important. I think it is very, very important to, yes, pick the team that you think for the most part should win the game. However, you gotta have some upsets. I mean, I just you can't just always pick the best team, because to me, I can always see how a team can get got. I can always see how a team can get got. And the best time to get got is in March. The best time to get got is in March. And so, yes, while that was a huge hot take with Duke beating Ohio State, I see Duke beating Ohio State, because remember that game Duke versus Ohio State, that's in the Sweet 16. So that means hold on. The game that game is in the Sweet 16. So that means that they're on neutral site. They're not at Ohio State. Now let's actually hold on. They actually are at home, but they'll still lose. They'll still lose in my opinion. But anyway, yeah. Hot take. I know. Hot take. And no, I do not hate the Big Ten. I don't. So I briefly saw that comment flat through, but I don't hate the Big Ten. I don't. Lil says, I'm going to say this, it will be some jaw droppers. I got South Carolina, Tennessee, LSU, and USC in the Final Four. Woo. All right. Courtside says, I have Fairfield playing South Carolina. Really? Really? Okay. All right. Goodness Rated says, wouldn't that be something if South Carolina met Iowa in the championship game? The powers that be want it that way. That's why Albany 2 is the hardest bracket. I mean, if the powers that be really wanted it, they would have made sure that we saw LSU and Iowa not in the same bracket. If the powers that be really wanted that, I think the committee was trying to show people that they not favoring Iowa. There was a whole bunch of talk about how the committee and everybody was rigging it to get Iowa to the championship game, and with Albany 2, I don't, I think they were like, you know what, we gonna show y'all that we not cheating for them. So yeah. John has Ohio State over Duke by 10 points. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Oh, there's some UCLA talk. If London Jones is hitting threes, oh my God. Yeah. Y'all, London Jones is fire, man. London Jones is fire. All right. Again, Oregon State beating Ole Miss. Sweet 16 is where Ole Miss's, time ends for the tournament. All right, guys, we got 400 people in the chat. Thank y'all so much for joining. If y'all could hit that subscribe button, that would be fantastic. We are on our road to 10,000 subscribers, and the goal is to hit that by tomorrow. Will it happen? I don't know, but you all can be the judge of that when you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. All right, now let's take a look at Portland Region 4. All right, I see why do I keep doing that? I see Texas beating Utah. Again, I would love a random upset, but I don't see it happening. Tennessee versus Stanford. I think Stanford has that. Kiki Ira-Offin and Cameron Brink is just too much for Tennessee. Rakia Jackson is going to have one of the best games of her life. But it will not be enough to beat Stanford. Iowa versus K-State. Now, I know there's a lot of people who have Iowa getting got at this game, and I don't have Iowa getting got. I see this being a very close game, possibly an overtime game, but I do think that Iowa makes the edge over K-State. Iowa making it to the Elite Eight. LSU versus UCLA. Now, here's the thing, guys. This is my assumption. When I'm making my pick right here, I am assuming that what has been said about last year Poa is correct, that she will be good for the NCAA tournament. So I think if LSU has Laster Poa and Angel Reese stays out of foul trouble, which I do believe she will, I believe this game, Anissa Morrow will have one of the best games of her college career. UCLA is talented. Lauren Betts is talented. You have Charisma Osborne. You have Kiki. You have a lot. You have a lot of people on UCLA that are very, very good. However, I think Angel, Anissa, Flage, and Haley are just going to be a little bit too tough. So I do have LSU beating UCLA. Now I know that this is kind of an upset. This is kind of an upset. But I just feel it. I just feel it. That UCLA is going to lose to LSU. Scoopy says, "Oh my God, yes, just started watching and so happy you are doing this live." Thanks for joining in. All right, so a good amount of y'all got a UCLA. Kathy has UCLA. Michaela has UCLA. Ty has LSU. Lee has UCLA. All right. We got some division in the chat. That's all good. Alan has UCLA. Yeah, I just feel like LSU is gonna win, and the key to them winning is Anissa Morrow. That's the key. That is the key to them winning is Anissa Morrow. I think she's gonna go off. She's gonna go off in this game. And maybe it's because she's from Chicago that I'm saying that, but I don't know. I really like Anissa Morrow. I think she's gonna be great. All right, let's continue on. We have USC versus Virginia Tech. I think the fact that Virginia Tech does not have Elizabeth Kitley, that is going to be too tough for USC. USC just, Juju, Rhea Marshall, Padilla, it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much for Virginia Tech to deal with when it's primarily just Georgia Amor without Elizabeth Kitley. So I do have USC beating Virginia Tech. All right, UConn versus Duke. I have UConn beating Duke. And I know some of y'all are probably like, "What? You have UConn beating?" If it was UConn versus Ohio State, I would actually have Ohio State beating UConn. But because I believe Duke is going to beat Ohio State, we have UConn beating Duke. Yes, UConn is a very short-staffed team. Very, very short-staffed. They have like 7 or 8 players right now. But I do think they're going to beat Duke. All right, guys, we have made it to the Elite Eight. Now, guys in the chat, let me know how wrong I am about the picks that I've made so far. Let me know in the comments how wrong I am, because that's what's a bracket without a little bit of trash talk. Mackenzie Forbes, there we go. That was a USC player I was trying to think about. Yes, that was the player I was trying to think about. Guys, what's a little bit of trash talk? We got to have a whole bunch of trash talk when we doing brackets. That's what it's all about, man. We doing a bracket at my job, and I can't wait to trash talk people. Like, it's just fun. It's fun to be like, "Oh, my bracket's better than yours," and your team going down and all this other stuff. It's a fun time, y'all. It is a fun time. All right, we have South Carolina versus Oregon State. I would love to have an upset here. I don't see an upset happening. I don't see an upset happening. I have South Carolina beating Oregon State to go to the Final Four again. All right, Texas versus Stanford. Madison Booker, phenomenal. Fantastic freshman who was doing big things. However, I see Stanford just overwhelming Texas. I don't think Texas has the post play to really deal with Stanford, and yeah, so I don't see Texas beating Stanford. I see Stanford making it to the Final Four again. All right, guys, we now have a rematch of the championship game last season. Iowa versus LSU. Now, I would love to say that this was not going to be an Elite Eight game, but instead to say that this was going to be like a Final Four or something like that, because I think it would have been better for basketball if they were in two different brackets, in my opinion, but they're not. So we got to work with what we got, and what we got is, in my opinion, an LSU win. I see LSU beating Iowa in the Elite Eight to make it on to the Final Four. So yeah, there we go. I have LSU beating Iowa. Iowa's great. Caitlin Clark is phenomenal. She's going to do great when she goes to the WNBA, but I think her time at Iowa in college ends in the Elite Eight when Iowa loses to LSU. I think LSU just has too much. They have too much firepower. Again, they have to stay out of foul trouble. That's the key. They got to stay out of foul trouble, but I do believe they will. And I believe they just have too much to beat, and they will beat Iowa. But I tell you this, Caitlin Clark is going to dominate. Caitlin Clark is going to go off, and she's going to have a ton of points. But I don't see Iowa beating LSU. I don't. Ooh, Marcia, good take. Marcia says if Iowa can get out in transition, play fast, and make threes, they will win. LSU can't run as fast in transition. If not, LSU size will be the reason for Iowa's loss. Yes, that is, Marcia, that is a key for the game for Iowa. Because that is something, transition buckets is something that Iowa does better than most teams in the country. If they can do that and just speed the game up so fast, then they have a chance. But honestly, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think LSU is just it's too much for them, too physical for them, and I just don't believe they're going to pull off the win. But I will say this, Caitlin Clark is going to go off. She's going to straight up go off. What up, Frank? Frank is in the building. Frank says USC all day. All right. Come This Way says, how many reserves do you think LSU will actually play? I think they're going to play 2, probably. 2 bench players. They're going to have a 7-man rotation. Yeah. Catherine says, you really know how to break a Hawkeye heart. You know, I mean, y'all have had a great run. I'ma just say this. Iowa fans, y'all should be so happy. Y'all really should be so happy. Y'all have had a great run for the last 2 years. You have had the best player in the country on your team. You have gotten to national notoriety. You have sold out stadiums all across the country. Iowa fans, y'all should be happy about how everything has turned out for y'all. Like, yes, y'all are going to lose to LSU in my opinion. However, like, Y'all have done well, and y'all have outperformed what people thought y'all would do. You know, I'm just saying. Frank is saying trash talk. Let's trash talk, y'all. Let's trash talk. Lonzo says LSU. Randy says Iowa's played a bunch of bigger teams already this year. They are ready for LSU. Okay. All right. We'll see. Ray says Queen talking like Iowa already lost. I mean, I feel like I believe Iowa's gonna lose, but y'all have had a great run. Y'all got some good recruits coming in next season. Y'all won't be as good, but I'm just saying, you know. Christopher says once Iowa's out, viewership will drop. I fear that you are actually kind of right, Christopher. It might slightly drop, but if we end up seeing an LSU versus South Carolina game in the championship game, not in the championship game, in the Final Four, I think numbers go through the roof. All right, because they have some history. they have some history. But in general, yes, I do agree that I viewership might go down a little bit with Iowa out, but we'll see what happens. All right, so we have for Regional 3, we have USC versus UConn. USC is winning. I don't see how USC could lose to UConn. UConn's great, but yeah. USC is just better. You have Juju, you have Rhea, you have Padilla, you have oh my God, the Ivy League girl. I keep forgetting her name. You have a lot of players on USC, and the thing I like the most about USC is that the way that they won the Pac-12, even with Juju Watkins kind of on a bum-ish ankle, still was able to get the dub for their team. Officer Davis says Forbes. I don't know why I keep forgetting Mackenzie Forbes' name. My apologies. Officer Davis says, I got UConn beating USC. Mark my words, Quita. Okay, Officer Davis. Okay. All right. All right. So, guys, in the Final Four, I am projecting South Carolina versus Stanford and LSU versus USC. Now, I think this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a very, very, very close game. However, at the end of the day, I don't see South Carolina getting got. I don't see South Carolina getting got. So yes, South Carolina is going to beat Stanford in the Final Four to make it to the championship game. All right. So South Carolina's in. Now, who are they playing against? All right. So LSU versus University of Southern California. Now, both of these teams are fire. Both of these teams. And both of these teams sort of have like a core thing that they do. For USC, it's get the ball to Juju Watkins and have her do what she do. If she can't, give it to Mackenzie Forbes. give it to, have her do her thing, or give it to Marshall. You can give it to other players, but for the most part, it is Juju Watkins on this team. Now, for LSU is a squad that is Angel Reese. Angel Reese is the heart and soul of this team. She is the player who sort of dictates generally what happens on the court. I'm not sure, because in terms of sheer scoring, you cannot have what am I trying to say? I am trying to say that I believe it's going to be very hard for LSU to stop Juju Watkins. I think it is going to be very hard. Yes, you are going to put your best defender on Juju, which is Flau'jae Johnson. Flau'jae Johnson is by far the best perimeter defender that LSU has. I think she is going to try her best to lock down Juju, but I truly don't believe that. I don't believe you completely shut down Juju. I think Juju still has 25, maybe 30 points in this game. But I think that I waffle. And honestly, I've been waffling back and forth on who I thought was going to win since this schedule was released. I have been like, because USC can put other players in the game, right? It doesn't just have to be the main five, whereas for LSU, you don't really have that. You just got 7 players max that you're putting in the game. And eventually it's going to come to bite them because they're going to be tired. they're going to be very tired. So I'm say that yes, Juju goes off. Yes, Mackenzie Forbes has a fantastic game. I mean, yes, USC does their thing, but I do say I put the edge on LSU. I do believe that LSU will ultimately win this game. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly, very ugly. But I think Anissa Morrow, Angel Reese are a little bit too much for USC to deal with. And yes, Juju Watkins is going to go off. And after that game, after the Final Four game, I believe that just like Caitlin Clark was the star of the show and like everybody was talking about her, I believe after this Final Four game, Juju Watkins, everybody's going to be saying Juju Watkins' name because she is going to dominate. But her team is still going to lose, in my opinion. In my opinion, USC is going to lose. But Juju is going to be fire. So I'm gonna just say this: we about to be entertained, we about to have a lot of fun, but I do think that USC is going to lose to LSU. But guys, in the chat, let me know how wrong I am. Let me know how wrong I am in the chat on this prediction. I know it's a kind of bold one, I would say, but yeah. Crystal says Juju equals Paige carrying their team their freshman year. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Juju is phenomenal, man. Like, I just love watching Juju Watkins play. I love watching Juju Watkins play. Bree says Queen been a sleeper LSU fan. Y'all, I say what I think is gonna happen. I'm a fan of Anissa Morrow. I can tell you that. LSU, I can take it or leave it. But Anissa Morrow, I am a big fan of Anissa Morrow. But at the end of the day, these are my thoughts. Guys, I believe we are going to have a rematch between South Carolina and LSU. We are going to see the most entertaining championship game that we have seen in a while. We are about to see blockbuster numbers. We are going to see people talking about this game like crazy because it's like, oh my God, last time they played, there was a fight, and we going to see what's going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Y'all saying how wrong I am in the chat. Let's see. Joshua says Indiana shocks the world with win over South Carolina. You know what? If Indiana can pull that, Mackenzie Holmes has to play out of her mind for Indiana to beat South Carolina. But I'm down for it. Anybody can get got. Hey, if they can take down South Carolina, more power to them. I think that's phenomenal. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think that would be pretty awesome if they could. But I don't think they can. All right. So, LSU versus USC is a moneymaker. Yeah, facts. All right. So I think this game is going to be a fun game, an entertaining game. But ultimately, I do believe that LSU is going to be so gassed, and so tired by this epic run to the national championship game that they're going to lose to South Carolina. So I do have the champion for this season as South Carolina. They will go undefeated to win the championship. In my opinion, I don't see how LSU will have the gas to actually be able to beat South Carolina. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I don't see LSU winning. I don't see LSU winning. Sure, if they can win, and if they can beat South Carolina, would that be awesome? Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be a upset of sorts. But I don't see it happening. I don't. I think South Carolina is going to just be overwhelming for them. Again, close game. But they're just going to be so gassed because these starters for LSU is going to be playing basically, these starters are basically going to be playing like 35, 36 minutes game. So they're gonna be exhausted, guys. I don't see how LSU wins. I don't. All right. Hogboss says, "Good. We don't want you on our side." Okay. Oh man. All right. So guys, that is my bracket. I'm gonna submit it. All right. I do have South Carolina winning the tournament. Would it be fantastic if somebody else won instead of South Carolina? Yes, absolutely. That would be fantastic. Do I believe that's what's going to happen? No, I don't. All right. So that is my bracket. That is my realistic, what I think is actually going to happen bracket. We will see some upsets. We absolutely will see some upsets. However, I don't think ultimately when it comes down to the Final Four, I don't see upsets like that, right? I don't see a team like a Cinderella type team where where someone just dominates the field and winds up getting to the Final Four. Like I still think it's going to be the teams that, for the most part, are like the top teams in the country that will get to the Final Four. Again, South Carolina, Stanford, LSU, USC. I don't see a ton of upsets on that. So like when we get down to the nitty gritty, yes, there will be upsets in my opinion in the early rounds, but getting to Elite Eight, Final Four, National Championship, I don't see where one of these I don't see where where like a squad like an Ole Miss. I don't see how they can. I don't see how Ole Miss can like make it to the Elite Eight, right? As I said earlier, Ole Miss is going to have some upsets. You know, they're going to beat some teams that they shouldn't beat. However, I just don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. I really don't. Duke, yes, I do believe Duke is going to have some upsets. I don't. It's not enough to make it past the Sweet 16 though, in my opinion. Shout out to DisFan9212. This fan says the women's game needs to get some love from Jay Billis. I would like to see what he would have in his Final Four. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he released a bracket, but yeah, I would love to see what he has to say as well. Yeah, I would love that. Now, guys, I do want us to take a look at what others have done. So, y'all see my pick. I have South Carolina winning as the champion. But ESPN lets you know what other people have selected. And it says here that 36% have picked South Carolina as the champions for this season. 30% says Iowa is going to be the champs. And 8% picks LSU as the champs. All right. And it says, and we can see some of the ESPN personalities picks. Stephen A says South Carolina. Molly, of course, says UConn. I believe Molly went to UConn. Aaron Dolan says South Carolina. Nicole Briscoe says Iowa. Kevin Connors says Stanford, which is, y'all, if Stanford can get that upset, that would be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Michael Eves says South Carolina. So yeah, we can kind of see what people. I really want to see Andrea Carter's picks. I'm waiting. I'm waiting until they release that. So we can see who she has winning. But yeah, that's I just wanted to show y'all that y'all can actually see what others have selected for picks. So I find it kind of fascinating sometimes to just sort of take a look at what others people have picked. Oh, did I say 8%? I meant LSU 4%, 4.8%. Yeah, so that's kind of how it is. And guys, actually, here's another thing that I want to show y'all. This is the people's bracket. So according to ESPN, we've tallied all the picks from everyone playing the Women's Tournament Challenge. Here is how they think it will go down. So here's what, for the most part, the public thinks is going to happen. So South Carolina is going to win the first game. North Carolina is going to beat Michigan State. Oklahoma's beating Florida Gulf Coast. Indiana's beating Fairfield. Nebraska's beating Texas A&M. Oregon's beating Eastern Washington. Ole Miss is beating Marquette. Notre Dame is beating Kent State. Texas is beating Drexel. Florida State is beating Alabama. Utah is beating South Dakota State. Gonzaga beating UC Irvine. Tennessee beating Green Bay. North Carolina State beating Chattanooga. Iowa State beating Maryland. Stanford beating Norfolk State. Iowa beating whichever team they play. West Virginia winning. Colorado winning. Kansas State winning. Louisville. LSU. Creighton. UCLA. USC, Kansas, Baylor, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, UConn, Duke, and Ohio State. Basically, guys, to put this in a nutshell, basically the people that everybody has selected were the top picks. So basically, it seemed like most people just went with the top pick in every category and just went with the top pick. And that's basically what happened. There are no real upsets on this people's bracket. There are no real upsets at all. It's just the top teams making it far. For the Sweet 16, we got UConn versus Ohio State, USC versus Virginia Tech, LSU versus UCLA, Iowa versus K-State, NC State versus Stanford, Texas versus Gonzaga. It basically is the top picks. So guys, please do not have your bracket following this. All right. The reason why I say that is because it is not always the top picks that win. Every single year there are upsets. This bracket doesn't really show any upsets at all. This bracket doesn't show any upsets. So the people's bracket, guys, is a dud, in my opinion. The people's bracket is a dud. Do not follow the people's bracket because it's basically just picking the best teams. It's basically just picking the best teams. That's all it is. And we ain't doing that here. Because we are going to be bold here. We are going to be bold and we are going to pick some upsets. Because that's what's going to happen. They're educated upsets. But they are upsets nonetheless. What up, Romy? Hope you are doing well. Mr. Joe says nobody knows. You're right about that. I mean, all of this is educated guesses, guys. That's what this is. This is a time for us to have a lot of fun. This is a time for us to poke a lot of fun at different teams. This is a time for us to brag about how we have the best, the quote unquote best bracket until teams on our bracket start to lose. Right. So will I be wrong on some of these picks I made today? Absolutely. That's the nature of the game. That is the whole point. That is the whole fun of it. There will be upsets. The thing that you all have to do is just look at it team by team and say, let me look at the roster that these teams have. Let me look at what they have done in the past. Let me look at their head coaches. What are their styles? And then let me take all of that in and then just say, okay, with that information, what do I think is going to happen? And sometimes the best team will not always win because, as I always say, guys, anybody can get got. Anybody. Don't matter who you are. You can get got. You could be the best team in the world. You can get got. I'm just saying. Last year, for my bracket, I had South Carolina winning the whole thing. What happened in the Final Four? They lost. I know South Carolina fans. I know South Carolina fans are, going to be upset that I mentioned that again. But yeah, they got last year. And could it happen again this year? Sure. Anybody can get got. We don't know what's going to happen in terms of injuries. We don't know what's going to happen in terms of just people showing up and showing out. We don't know what Cinderella stories we're going to see this year. We don't know. JB is funny. JB said, Quita can't be saying we're going to be bold here, but have a championship with LSU versus South Carolina with South Carolina winning. JB said, Quita said we're going to be bold, but we won't be stupid. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying. Like, I'm going to be, a little bit bold in my earlier picks. But at the end of the day, yes, there's going to be upsets in the first two rounds. Yes. But at the end of the day, I do believe that we will see South Carolina versus LSU. Would it be better if we saw another matchup? Absolutely. I think that'd be fun. Again, guys, I love upsets. If we could see a Ole Miss versus I don't know, Ole Miss versus like a Tennessee or something, I would be down for that. It's not likely. I don't think it's likely at all. I don't think it's likely, but that would be fun to watch. It'd be fun to see Tennessee make it to the Final Four. It's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to see Colorado do that. Is it likely? No, I don't think it's gonna happen. So yeah, guys, I tried to be bold with my projections, but at the end of the day, I think the top schools are going to make it happen. So, Officer Davis says, Quita, stop picking South Carolina. Read the room. I mean, I would love it if South Carolina didn't win. I would love it if South Carolina and LSU was not in the championship game. I just think that's what's going to happen. I do. I just think that's what's going to happen. If Iowa could make it to the championship game, that would be phenomenal. I would love it. Like I would love for something unpredictable to happen. That is what I want. That is what I want. But do I think that's what's going to happen? No, I don't think that's what's going to happen. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts. Yeah, that's my run through for the NCAA tournament. Now I will say this, guys, in the future, here are the squads y'all better watch out for. Y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out for USC in the future. I absolutely see USC making it to the championship game next season. They're very good, and they have some very high incoming freshmen coming in. Juju's gonna be a sophomore next year. That'd be phenomenal. Kyra says, me too. I'm here for the chaos. I want the Zags taking it all. Man, if Gonzaga can take it all, man, I'm down for that. Is it gonna happen? No. But that would be fun though. That would be so much fun. So much fun. I'm down for upsets. Down for upsets. All right, guys, that is the stream for today. I do need to go and walk my dogs. It is pretty late outside. So I am going to hop off. But guys, we will be back tomorrow for another stream where we will go through the freshmen to watch out for the tournament. So I'm gonna break down the various freshmen that are playing in the NCAA tournament, and then talk about what's happening, right? We're also going to talk about the transfers tomorrow as well. So there's been lots and lots of news about transfers, players leaving teams, and how, honestly, I think this is really hurting the WNIT and it's really hurting programs who are not in the NCAA tournament because their players are like, the portal's open. I'm putting my name in. Bye-bye. See y'all later, Anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk about freshmen. We're going to talk about the transfer portal tomorrow. So I hope you all join for that conversation. Guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Night, I should say. Yeah, you guys have a fantastic night. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Alan says, so what are the odds in Vegas? I don't know. I am not, I don't bet. I do not do sports betting. I stay way away from sports betting. So I don't pay attention to odds, or I don't understand how any of that works, to be quite honest with you. And it's intentional because I don't want to know. This is I think sports betting in a lot of ways is very detrimental to sports. I don't think it's a good thing at all. I think it makes sports not about the enjoyment of the game, but instead about making a quick buck. And there's strategy to it. There's, this is not me ragging on the people who enjoy it. I just don't think it's good for the game. And because of that, I try my best to steer clear. So if you all ever ask any questions about, betting, I will never know. I don't know. I don't want to know. I will never ever do sports betting. I don't like it. This channel will never ever have a sports bet company as a sponsor ever. Because in general, I don't think it's good for people. I don't think it's good for people at all. But if that's what you do and you enjoy it and whatnot, then more power to you. But I don't do that. So. And also, Lil, I agree with you. It is a potential setup for corruption. Yes. Jay says betting already ruined the NBA. I will say I do believe that. Like it's gotten to the point where like it's everywhere. Every other commercial when you're watching a game is about a betting thing. And I believe it gives people the ability to kind of cook the books a little bit. I'm just saying. And also as a fan, it makes me just angry. If I were betting, if I were betting, it would make me angry when the team that I bet it for lost. Right? It's not about the fun of the game. It's about my team winning. So. Because I've put money on it or whatever. So in general, we don't do that here. And if I ever, guys, hold me to it, if I ever have a sports betting company as a sponsor or anything like that, that would be y'all cue that I have sold out, and that ain't happening. that ain't happening. We're not doing that here. Tiff says, I'm just getting here. Who did Quita choose? I chose South Carolina. I think South Carolina is going to win the championship. But we will see what happens. Likely no, JB. They haven't officially given the word, but I don't believe any. I don't believe she's playing. Officer David says, how many brackets you filling out in total? I have 5. Right now I have 1. I will have more soon. Like today's one was pretty realistic, I would say. But I do want to make a wild card one of just like upset city, so I'm just saying. Alan says, I'll call you out then. Yeah, call me out. In general, like guys, we are a community. We are the awesome people of the internet. It's time to call us out. It's cool to call each other out, So that's what I got to say. So if I'm doing something and y'all feel like I sold out or whatever, call me out on it. Call me out. All right. But yeah, that ain't never gonna happen though. That ain't, because that's why I have an actual job and I don't like totally rely on this because if I did, I would have to ask companies, industries that I don't agree with to financially help me, and we ain't doing that. We not doing that because we we are funded and for the people. We like public media over here. We like public media over here. We are for and by the people. All right. Kyra giving the cold emoji. All right, guys, that is it. I'm going to go walk my dogs. Again, have a fantastic day, guys. If y'all have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers. And if y'all could help get us there, that would be absolutely phenomenal. We are at 9,880 subscribers. It's fantastic. And I thank y'all so much. Everybody who has hit that subscribe button, I appreciate you. And everybody else, if you haven't, I hope that eventually I will be able to earn your subscribe. All right. Until next time, guys, have a great night. Until next time. Bye.